seen in learners that they actually feel overwhelmed and nervous when they speak. So, how to overcome the fear of speaking?
As I mentioned, the fear of speaking isn't just about language, it is many
Mm,
things. So you need to identify what is hampering your speech. Is it the
mm,
fear of public speaking? Is it the fear of interacting with other people? Or is it the
mm,
fear that stems from your language exercises? So, solo
mm.
speaking practice, I would record myself, listen to myself, and especially pay attention which words they feel awkward and they are not coming right if I have to listen from the accent perspective. So, there I have worked and I have come a long way, I guess. Use myself for your audience. I'm Mandeep, and my channel Fluency Goals by Mandeep. It's all about teaching English language, its nitty gritties to all the English enthusiasts there. And I tried to provide advanced English idioms and a lot of vocabulary building exercises there. So I started this channel about a year ago. uh, Regarding my professional experience and my education, I have been qualified in English language literature, B.Ed, CTET certified, and postgrad in English literature. And I have around 15 years of teaching English language in schools, this experience under my belt. So on and
Wow.
off, I have been doing this, and now I have decided that it's time to be my own boss. So I have
My God.
started
Oh
pursuing
my
this.
God. You have actually a big experience, more than 15 years, right?
Yes, I
And
started in 2010. Yes, 2010.
actually, I want to know something about your spoken English journey because you are actually speaking proficient English, and you are not that you are a bachelor, you are married, and how do you manage? How do you balance your professional life and your personal life as well? It is not easy, right? It becomes very difficult for you to conduct sessions as well. You are doing lots of things all together. So please share your journey as woman empowerment. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk about my journey here. Well, I don't believe I'm doing enough because there is so much in my mind that I want to do, but then there are restraints. Family life has to be taken care of, definitely. And being a mother of two children, I have to cater to their needs as well. So, regarding my English journey, it began in school only. I think I was privileged enough that I got this privilege to study in English medium school. But still,
Mm,
the times that I studied in 90s, I uh, did my 10th standard matriculation around, at the end of the 90s. So that time we didn't have much exposure to the language, listening especially, because nowadays English has almost become like a second, like a first language rather than second language. First language, mother tongue
yeah.
language for children living in cities, and it is
Mm.
only big cities. It is just like first language, and only tier 2, tier 3 where we still feel that it is second language, right? So I had my love for literature, and there was no issue with formation of sentences and all, and vocabulary base. Everything was good as I learned more. But then speaking is another challenge altogether. Finding that confidence to interact with people, and I believe it is not just about the language. It is many more things altogether. Even if one is proficient in language, sometimes one is diffident and underconfident, so that in certain scenarios, certain social settings, if you find yourself you're not confident enough to deal with people there, you start stuttering, stammering, and your sentences don't come out right. So that is not language issue, that is confidence issue. So
Mhm.
uh, it took some time to go out in the world and develop that confidence of interacting with people, especially since I was an introvert. Only there I faced the challenge. And another challenge that, if I have to discuss, is I faced regarding the mother tongue influence in speaking.
Mhm.
You must be aware of that. So that
Yeah.
was there, but slowly, as I became aware when I moved to Delhi and I heard people speaking here, and I felt
Mhm.
that the way I speak is different and I need to improve on that. So slowly I started improving by shadowing and lots of, speaking exercises. So solo
Mhm.
speaking practice, I would record myself, listen to myself, and especially pay attention which words they feel awkward and they are not coming right if I have to listen from the accent perspective. So there I have worked and I have come a long way, I guess. There is no more that Punjabi accent in my speaking.
I often see in learners that they actually feel overwhelmed and nervous when they speak. So, how to overcome the fear of speaking?
As I mentioned, the fear of speaking isn't just about language, it is many
Mhm.
things. So you need to identify what is hampering your speech. Is it the
Mhm.
fear of public speaking? Is it the fear of interacting with other people? Or is it the
Mhm.
fear that stems from your language? So you
Mhm.
don't feel confident enough that you have worked on your language and you would not find the right words to interact with. So many learners, the ones ESL learners who translate in their head and who have learned English not from direct absorption from environment and rather they have learned from translating in their head, they face this challenge, in fluency, because it takes a
Yeah.
lot of time in the mind to process the
Mhm.
sentences right, and many a times they keep thinking about right grammar, right tense, is it correct, and they can commit mistakes. But that,
Mhm.
I think everybody should forego that thing. Grammar is secondary when you have to start speaking. So
Mhm.
first, you must be aware of simple structures, sentence structures that must be there. But regarding the tense is not coming right. Eventually, as you practice more, you listen more and absorb from the context, they will also start coming right. So it's
Mhm.
all about your learning, how much you are able to absorb from the environment. And one more thing I would like to add,
Mhm.
learners often tend to focus much on vocabulary, learning just words and googling them in dictionary and then making
Mhm.
sentences and all. This is the process how we do it, right? So look for a word,
Yeah.
look for the meaning, learn the meaning, and then we learn the sentence, and then we forget the word. But it's more
Yes.
important to learn the word as a phrase, that from the context.
Mhm.
Wherever you come
Yeah.
across, just
Mhm.
take the context also, in what context it is used, and learn it as a phrase the way it is used. So
Yeah.
earlier the day I was having discussion with someone and I was telling him that I learned one word, new word, serendipity. So
What?
serendipity means something that comes to you out of luck, out of luck. So how to use this instead of just learning serendipity? So out of
Mhm.
serendipity. So now use it in a sense. So you learn it first as a complete phrase, out of serendipity. I got a new
Mhm.
house out of serendipity. I won a lottery ticket out of serendipity. $1 million lottery ticket out of serendipity. So this way it becomes easier. So,
Mhm.
and whenever you
Like,
learn some
yeah.
new words, new phrase, keep using it in one day, dedicate a day, use it in your conversation consciously so that it gets ingrained in your mind, right?
Yeah. I love that you have mentioned about the way that you learn the word. You don't simply learn the vocabulary because you want to sound fluent. You don't want that. You want that it will come naturally. You will not forget that even, right? So you don't learn words, you learn phrases. So that
Phrases
is how
and
you
the
can,
context.
yeah, to contest
And
as well, yeah.
this is at the advanced level, but at intermediate level it's even more beautiful. I often
Yeah.
advise, read. Reading is the one thing that really helped me. And people are like, we don't like to read books, and I'm like, who is telling you to read books and all? No, if you are an intermediate beginner level, forget books. Read magazines. You love sports, read sports magazine. You love fashion, read fashion magazine. You have interest in Bollywood stars, read those magazine, gossip magazine in English language. The thing is
Mhm.
that when you read, no, the words that are supposed to be used in everyday communication, they are not at very advanced level or very basic level, but intermediate level. They'll you'll come across those words repeatedly again and again.
Mhm.
Every single day they'll repeat the structures, and it will get ingrained in your mind. So slowly you will start thinking in English also. So you will not even need to look for the meanings of those words anymore. You'll start picking them from the context only. So it works beautifully.
Again, again, I have beautiful question to ask you that you just mentioned that thinking in English.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big question for learners that yes, you are suggesting me to think in English. So how to think in English? Please tell me about it.
Have you ever wondered, like, let's say for one whole day or 2 days, you are watching some movie of Aishwarya Rai only, let's say, a movie star.
Okay, yeah.
And even when the movie is not playing, the face of Aishwarya will keep coming in your mind again and again.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. It's
That movie
visualization.
star. So that will be, that will be in your mind imprinted. So thinking in
Hmm.
English is something similar to that. The more you will expose yourself to the language in the form of listening, in the form of reading,
Hmm.
it will start coming in your mind. Your thoughts will start coming in your mind in that language only.
Do
I
you want to give
remember,
any example like how to think in English as well?
see, I remember in my school days, I was not, I didn't have the speaking environment around me, but I was too much into, Femina magazine. Aishwarya and Sushmita had just won the crown, and it was all a fad. And I really loved reading those magazines and Reader's Digest. So my family that time, they also didn't have the money to provide me what I wanted. So what I would do, I would go to a scrap dealer and pick the bundle of magazines which people have scrapped, used magazines, and I'll read. So so much of being exposed to the sentence structures, the words, slowly, you are thinking and your thoughts only start coming. Okay, today I have something new to do. Today I am going to go out and this is what I want to shop. Everyday activities that you think in your mind, think them in English. So,
Mhm.
and if it's not coming to you naturally, start doing it consciously. While making bed in the morning, think about how the bed sheet is looking. Is it stained? Is it scrunched
Yeah.
there? Okay, now I need to remove. I need to change this bed sheet. Let me get a fresh bed sheet. Is it smelling of detergent? And these thoughts, whatever are the thoughts, just think aloud and say them aloud if you're alone. So slowly it starts working. Every activity, just think in English and force yourself, push yourself to say those activities.
Yeah, most of time I have heard that how to think in English, but first time we have spilled the beans on that how to think in English. It wasn't beautiful that you reveal the secret about how to think in English, and you have also beautifully provide the examples as well. You have explained it well that anyone can easily understand to how to think in English. So they will definitely use this technique as well. I have one more beautiful question to ask you, that you have just mentioned about magazines. I also like to read books. I don't like to read magazines, but I also love to listen to some interviews, right? I believe
Mm-hmm.
that if you have interest in something, you should read that, you should watch that. Don't do that because money spam is doing, and because someone is doing and she has become fluent only because of this trick and all. So this will not help you. So
Right, right.
what is your take on this? That which technique we can use for spoken English? Does it good to read magazines, or does it good to listen to podcast,
See, you
or
have
how?
brought a very good point to attention here. Whatever works for you. So, for
Hmm.
some people, magazines and all newspaper, it really works beautifully. Some people, they are more into entertainment, watching movies and all, and they really love that because if you see, no, learners are also of different types. There are visual learners, there are auditory learners, those who learn more by listening. Since you are into teaching, you'll know spatial learners who like to learn things by involving themselves in activities which involve a lot of touch and all. So if you are an auditory learner, you will love to listen to podcasts and you will love the,
Hmm.
sound of the language, sound of the words. So how you can incorporate reading there, because many a times what happens is we listen to some words and but we don't know their actual usage in writing mails. That's why people commit so many mistakes, because the words
Hmm.
sound similar but their spellings are completely different altogether. So how
Yeah.
you can incorporate that thing? Another thing is subtitles. When you have subtitles, if you are watching something, you are reading along. Even that comes
Yes.
under reading, and that is a double edged sword actually. So any
Hmm.
video that you are watching with subtitles, you are
Hmm.
reading as well as you are listening to the language. But
Hmm.
for learning purpose, only to a point it should be done as an exercises with set timer. You should not make it a crutch, that every
Hmm.
time you listen to the language for understanding you need subtitles. No, slowly
So
you
how do
have to
you
wean yourself
watch
off.
the videos? How do you watch the videos? Do you watch videos because you want to learn this language, or do you watch the video because you want to understand what they have said?
I don't
What are you?
watch videos with subtitles on no longer because I'm not at that stage. I watch them without subtitles because I want to expose myself. One thing, because I'm at an advanced level, I know the language structures, the words already. I don't need to read them. So accent understanding, it begins without using subtitles. So I'm at that stage where I want to understand different types of accents without any
Mhm.
crutch, whether it's Australian, British, or American. And I
Yeah.
particularly love to watch shows, especially American shows, with a lot of expressions being thrown around. I love the way they interact with expressions,
Mhm.
idioms. So that
Yeah.
adds a different color to the language. So for that purpose, I watch a lot. And now do not read a lot. Earlier in my times, I was a voracious reader, but now I don't get enough time, and I have fallen out of the habit of reading. So
Yeah, I can understand that you are busy these days and you used to be bookworm, but nowadays, because of your busy schedule and your plates are full, and because of that, you are not getting time for reading. But I used to not read a lot, but recently I become a bookworm. I heard a lots of people who are good speaker, they always mention that they read. And that fascinates me a lot, that I want to improve my communication skills well. So why should not I give a chance to myself that start to read books? So I have listened to some audiobooks, then I have started to read the same book. So that is how
hmm.
I have built my interest in reading. So I think that if you want to do something, you should make something different trick as well, and that will definitely help you to stay in your own goal. Otherwise, you will not stay, and you will actually lose your concentration as well, because that activity will not interest you a lot, and you will feel like that why I do the activities that actually not helping me, and I'm not enjoying that activity. So you will leave that activity, right? So because of that, I always try to read something different, and
Mm-hmm.
if I get bored of it, I listen to some podcast songs as well. So I know that I'm not a good singer, but I enjoy singing. I enjoy repeating the same sentences after them. So that is how I am trying to. So how do you write? How do you do writing practice for the spelling mistakes? Some learners are good at speaking, but they are not good at writing. So how can they minimize their spelling mistakes?
So, spelling mistakes, first of all, get into the habit of writing. And then you need to have, so many people, they don't write only. So, you can begin with anything as simple as writing a journal of thoughts at the end of the day or whatever time suits you. So, begin by
Yeah.
that. And the problem is identification of mistakes. The challenge is not writing, the challenge is identifying where you are committing mistakes and improving on that. So,
Mhm.
at some point, you require a mentor who can actually guide you
Mhm.
where you are committing mistakes, and because otherwise, it becomes difficult that whether what you were trying to convey, you have used the right tense form or not. Spelling, still, it's easier to identify. You can check on Google or anywhere, okay, whether my spellings are correct. And
Mhm.
moreover, word app also, it gives you the hints, okay, their spelling error is there and not. But
Yeah.
still, I think at some point you need a mentor in writing, especially.
Hmm. And thank you, Mandeep ma'am, that today you have actually mentioned and beautiful things that how did you learn this language, and you have also given some solution and beautiful solutions. How to think in your mind as well, how to practice, and you have also given some beautiful examples and some tricks as well, and on how to start listening, and how to reduce and minimize your spelling mistakes as well. And it was wonderful session with you, and I already mentioned that you have a golden heart and you are also a beautiful person. Thank you so much for joining the session. Yeah.
Thank you for your kind words, and it was a pleasure connecting with you. And let's see if in future we connect again.